In the annals of Bigfoot lore, tales of strange encounters and mysterious sightings abound, captivating the imaginations of believers and skeptics alike. Yet amidst the countless stories of fleeting glimpses and blurry photographs, one encounter stands out as particularly compelling. The story of a man who claims to have photographed a female Bigfoot with what appeared to be a baby on its back in a remote mountain wilderness area. The story begins with a man whose identity remains shrouded in anonymity, embarking on a solo expedition into the rugged and untamed wilderness of the mountains. The man called himself Mark, but added that this wasn't his real name, as he was concerned about privacy and safety and wanted to maintain anonymity. The man claimed to have come across a mysterious creature while trekking at Wonder Mountain Wilderness, which is a region that includes Wonder Mountain in the Olympic National Forest on the Olympic Peninsula of Washington, D.C. He was walking along a small mountain trail when all of a sudden he noticed a black mass in front of him. He added that he had seen them stand on two legs and that at first he had assumed the creature to be a black bear, noting how strangely humanoid they appeared when they did so. This phenomena of people confusing black bears for Bigfoot has happened all throughout the world, especially in areas where both animals are known to live. Despite the fact that Bigfoot and black bears are clearly distinct species, there are a number of elements that can cause confusion and result in false sightings and identifications. The physical similarities between black bears and Bigfoot, especially in low light or from a distance, are one of the main causes of confusion between the two species. It can be challenging to tell the two species apart, because they are both huge bipedal mammals with dark fur, especially in poorly light or hidden areas like dense forests or heavy underbrush. But the man claimed that upon closer inspection, he was able to determine that this was unquestionably not a black bear. The man claimed that the creature in question was a female, and that it wasn't alone. Clinging to her back is what appears to be a small, juvenile Bigfoot, its fur matted and unkempt. The man said he couldn't believe what was happening, and quickly snapped a photograph with his camera, adding that it's blurry due to the fact the female Bigfoot was moving at the time the image was taken. As quickly as he sighted the creature, he said that the encounter was over almost as quickly as it began. The man observed the female Bigfoot and her young disappear back into the wilderness, saying that he was astounded by how disguised they both were, and that he would have never known they were there if he hadn't seen them. Interestingly, Bigfoot researchers have said that the dense vegetation and complex terrain of forest environments provide great opportunities for Bigfoot to conceal itself from sight, adding that thick underbrush, dense foliage, and rugged terrain can all provide natural cover and concealment for these large animals. In tests carried out by numerous Bigfoot researchers, participants were instructed to dress like Bigfoot and stand just a few meters away from the creatures in the forest. It is said that because of the dense undergrowth, it is nearly impossible to spot them, and because they are so well camouflaged against the forest's backdrop, you wouldn't even know they were there. The man said that the photographs were captured back in 2016 and added that due to the clarity and detail of the image, you can make out various details. As with many of these encounters, it would go on to capture the attention of Bigfoot enthusiasts, researchers, and skeptics alike. The photographs were analyzed by experts in the field, who said that there's no denying that this creature is a Bigfoot, adding that it can't get mistaken for a bear. For believers, it is photographs like this that represent a long-awaited breakthrough in the search for definitive proof of Bigfoot's existence. The clarity and detail of the images, combined with the corroborating testimony of the man, lend credibility to the possibility that these elusive creatures may indeed roam the remote wilderness areas of the world. Skeptics, on the other hand, remain unconvinced by these types of photographs, citing the lack of independent verification and the possibility of hoax or misidentification. Interestingly, this isn't the first time that someone has claimed to have encountered a female Bigfoot. Hikers who report encountering female Bigfoot often describe the experience as both awe-inspiring and unnerving. The sight of a large bipedal creature with dark fur or hair, humanoid features, and a distinctly feminine appearance can be a profoundly surreal and unsettling experience, leaving a lasting impression on those who witness it. One of the most striking aspects of encounters with female Bigfoot is the creature's size and physical presence. Female Bigfoot are often described as being similar in size and stature to adult Bigfoot males, with a height ranging from 6 to 8 feet tall and a robust, muscular build. Their dark fur or hair is typically described as being thick and unkempt, with a matted appearance that blends seamlessly into the surrounding wilderness environment. In addition to their physical appearance, female Bigfoot are often reported to exhibit behaviors that are both curious and cautious. Some hikers claim to have observed female Bigfoot watching them from a distance, displaying a mixture of curiosity and wariness as they observe the human intruders in their territory. Others report encounters in which female Bigfoot are seen foraging for food, caring for young, or engaging in social interactions with other members of their species. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of encounters with female Bigfoot is the possibility of observing maternal behavior. While the details of Bigfoot's social structure and family dynamics remain largely speculative, some hikers claim to have witnessed female Bigfoot caring for young offspring, leading to speculation about the creature's biology and family life. These accounts offer tantalizing hints about the elusive creature's behavior and social structure, shedding light on the mysteries of Bigfoot's existence. Despite the compelling nature of these accounts, skeptics and critics remain skeptical of the idea of encountering female Bigfoot in the wilderness. They argue that the lack of concrete evidence, such as clear photographs, videos, or physical remains, makes it difficult to verify the authenticity of these claims. Furthermore, they point to the prevalence of hoaxes, misidentifications, and exaggerations in Bigfoot lore as reasons to approach such accounts with caution and skepticism. However, for those who have had first-hand encounters with female Bigfoot in the wilderness, the experience is often deeply profound and transformative. Whether the encounters are fleeting glimpses from a distance or up-close encounters with the creature in its natural habitat, they leave a lasting impression on those who witness them, sparking a sense of wonder, curiosity, and reverence for the mysteries of the natural world. A man has posted a mysterious photograph on social media, saying that he was watching the Yellowstone live cameras when something huge caught his attention in the distance. He described it as looking like a large humanoid, and said that he often watches the Yellowstone live cameras, and this is the first time that he's ever seen anything this big before. Due to it being humanoid in shape, he quickly decided to take a screenshot, as the Yellowstone cameras work by refreshing roughly every 30 seconds. As he scanned the live camera footage, his keen eye caught a movement in the distance, a dark shape weaving between the towering trees and dense undergrowth. At first, he dismissed it as a trick of the light or a passing animal, but as he went in for a closer look, he could tell that this wasn't the local wildlife. There, unmistakably silhouetted against the backdrop of the forest, stood a towering figure, humanoid in shape, but distinctly different from any known species. The creature's massive frame stood out, and its unmistakable outline bore a striking resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot, a creature of myth and folklore said to inhabit the remote wilderness areas of North America. The man said he wanted to capture photographic proof of the elusive creature before it vanished back into the depths of the forest, and so decided to take a screenshot. As he adjusted the focus and zoomed in on the distant figure, he marveled at its sheer size and apparent strength, dwarfing the surrounding trees with its towering stature. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that something mysterious has been sighted inside Yellowstone National Park. In the vast and rugged wilderness of Yellowstone National Park, among the towering trees and mist-shrouded valleys, there exists a mystery that has fascinated adventurers and researchers for generations: the elusive and enigmatic creature known as Bigfoot. While skeptics may dismiss the existence of Bigfoot as mere myth or legend, a closer examination of the evidence reveals a compelling tapestry of sightings and encounters that cannot be easily explained away. For decades, reports of Bigfoot sightings in Yellowstone have emerged from the depths of the park's remote forests and rugged backcountry, drawing curious onlookers and intrepid researchers in search of answers. These sightings span a wide range of locations and circumstances, from hikers stumbling upon massive footprints in the mud to campers awakening to the eerie sound of distant howls echoing through the night. One such encounter occurred in the summer of 2019, when a group of backpackers embarked on a multi-day trek through the remote wilderness of Yellowstone's Lamar Valley. As they made their way along the rugged trails, their senses heightened by the pristine beauty of the surrounding landscape, they were suddenly struck by an overwhelming sense of unease. It began with a series of strange noises emanating from the dense undergrowth, a low, guttural growl that sent shivers down their spines and raised the hairs on the back of their necks. As they cautiously approached the source of the sound, their eyes widened in disbelief at the sight before them. A towering figure, nearly 8 feet tall and covered in dark, matted fur, standing amidst the trees. In the fading light of the setting sun, the creature's massive frame cast a long shadow across the forest floor, its piercing eyes glinting with an otherworldly intelligence. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as the backpackers and the creature locked eyes, each silently sizing up the other in a tense standoff. As the tension reached a fever pitch, the creature let out a primal roar that reverberated through the valley, sending the backpackers scrambling for safety. With adrenaline-fueled determination, they raced back along the trail, their hearts pounding in their chests as they struggled to put distance between themselves and the mysterious creature lurking in the shadows. For the backpackers and others who have encountered Bigfoot in Yellowstone, the experience leaves an indelible mark on their psyche, forever altering their perceptions of the natural world and the mysteries that lie within. While skeptics may dismiss such encounters as mere hallucinations or misidentifications of known wildlife, the sheer volume and consistency of eyewitness reports suggest otherwise. Yellowstone's vast and remote wilderness provides the perfect habitat for a creature like Bigfoot to thrive, a place where dense forests, rugged terrain, and limited human presence offer ample opportunity for elusive creatures to remain hidden from prying eyes. And while the scientific community may remain skeptical of Bigfoot's existence, the evidence continues to mount, compelling researchers and enthusiasts alike to explore the depths of the park in search of answers. As of right now, Bigfoot sightings in Yellowstone National Park offer a tantalizing glimpse into the mysteries of the natural world and the creatures that inhabit its remote corners. While skeptics may scoff at the notion of a large, humanoid creature lurking in the shadows, eyewitness accounts and compelling evidence suggest that there may be more to the legend of Bigfoot than meets the eye. Throughout the annals of history, spanning countless millennia, ancient cultures across the United States have shared tales of encounters with large humanoid creatures that roam the land. From the towering giants of Native American lore to the legendary Sasquatch of modern folklore, these stories offer a fascinating glimpse into the rich tapestry of myth and legend that has shaped the cultural landscape of the continent. For centuries, Native American tribes have passed down oral traditions that speak of encounters with giant beings who roamed the wilderness long before the arrival of European settlers. These beings, known by various names such as the Si-Te-Ka among the Paiute people of Nevada or the Hiawatha giants among the Iroquois of the Northeast, were said to possess immense size and strength, towering over ordinary humans like towering sentinels of the ancient world. One such tale comes from the legends of the Cherokee people, who speak of a race of giants known as the Yunwi Tsunsdi, or Little People, who once inhabited the mountains and forests of the southeast. According to Cherokee legend, these giants were skilled hunters and warriors who possessed supernatural abilities and wielded great power over the natural world. Similarly, the legends of the Choctaw people tell of a race of giants known as the Nalusafalaya, or Long Black Being, who were said to inhabit the remote wilderness of the southeast. According to Choctaw tradition, these giants were fearsome creatures who stood taller than the tallest trees, their dark forms blending seamlessly with the shadows of the forest as they moved silently through the night. As European settlers began to push westward across the continent, encounters with large humanoid creatures continued to be reported, albeit under different names and guises. In the dense forests and rugged mountains of the Pacific Northwest, tales of the Sasquatch, or Bigfoot, have been a mainstay of Native American and settler lore for centuries. According to eyewitness accounts and Native American legends, Sasquatch is described as a large, ape-like creature standing between 6 and 10 feet tall, covered in dark fur and possessing immense strength and agility. While skeptics may dismiss these accounts as mere folklore or misidentifications of known wildlife, the sheer volume and consistency of eyewitness reports suggest otherwise. Indeed, sightings of Sasquatch have been reported by individuals from all walks of life, including hunters, hikers, and loggers, who claim to have encountered the creature firsthand in the remote wilderness of the Pacific Northwest. These encounters often involve fleeting glimpses of the creature darting between trees or disappearing into the underbrush, leaving behind only footprints and the lingering sense of unease. In recent years, advances in technology such as trail cameras and thermal imaging have led to an increase in the number of reported sightings and encounters with Sasquatch, as researchers and enthusiasts alike seek to unravel the mystery of this elusive creature. While definitive proof of Sasquatch's existence remains elusive, the wealth of eyewitness testimony and physical evidence suggests that there may be more to the legend than meets the eye. As of right now, the tales of encounters with large humanoid creatures in the United States are as diverse and varied as the cultures and landscapes from which they originate. From the towering giants of Native American lore to the legendary Sasquatch of modern folklore, these stories offer a fascinating glimpse into the rich tapestry of myth and legend that has shaped the cultural landscape of the continent for millennia. While skeptics may dismiss such tales as mere fantasy or exaggeration, the sheer volume and consistency of eyewitness reports suggest that there may be kernels of truth hidden within the depths of these ancient legends, waiting to be unearthed by intrepid explorers and researchers alike. In a remote region of Canada, a woman from British Columbia recounted a peculiar incident she experienced during a hiking excursion, which she shared on a hiking community on social media. According to her narrative, while traversing the wilderness of Vancouver Island, she encountered an unusual individual whose appearance was both strange and hairy. This mysterious figure, she detailed, exhibited a demeanor characterized by a fixed scowl or intense gaze, refraining entirely from verbal communication. The woman recalled feeling a sense of unease and fear as she swiftly snapped a photograph of the strange being. Overwhelmed by a mixture of emotions, she admitted to trembling with apprehension. Subsequently, with a sense of urgency, she chose to disengage from the unsettling encounter, deciding to vacate the vicinity. Upon viewing the image, observers noted that it marked a significant occasion where the creature's face was distinctly visible, triggering skepticism and labeling it as artificial due to its clear visibility. This occurrence sparked doubts and led to widespread dismissals of the image's authenticity. In the realm of photography, there exists a common perception articulated by a user that navigating the reception of certain types of photographs can be quite challenging. The user expressed the notion that there seems to be a paradoxical situation wherein, if an image is excessively blurry, it tends to provoke dissatisfaction among viewers. Conversely, when a clear and well-defined picture is shared, individuals are prone to skepticism, questioning its authenticity and attributing it to artificial intelligence intervention. Intriguingly, individuals engaged in the quest for this mysterious creature have noted that the expansive wilderness of British Columbia serves as a focal point for these mysterious beings. They have highlighted that numerous individuals have shared their mysterious encounters with these creatures throughout the years, further solidifying the region's reputation as a hub for such sightings. Bigfoot, commonly referred to as Sasquatch, stands as an enduring mystery that has intrigued individuals for generations. This curiosity is especially prevalent in the lush woodlands and challenging landscapes of British Columbia, Canada. Indigenous societies have passed down a rich tapestry of stories and myths recounting encounters with these strange beings over centuries. Even in contemporary times, sightings of Bigfoot continue to mesmerize both local inhabitants and scientific investigators, sparking a sense of wonder and bewilderment. The allure of Bigfoot stretches beyond mere folklore, transcending cultural boundaries and inspiring a quest for understanding the mysteries that shroud these elusive creatures. In the vast and diverse wilderness of British Columbia, which boasts dense forests, towering mountains, and remote valleys, there exists an ideal environment for the mysterious Bigfoot to flourish. The province's rich array of natural resources and sparsely populated regions create abundant hiding spots for these elusive creatures, allowing them to evade detection with ease. This setting, characterized by its untouched landscapes and minimal human interference, provides a sanctuary where Bigfoot can navigate undetected through the dense forests and rugged terrain. Eyewitness testimonies detailing sightings of Bigfoot in British Columbia are abundant and cover a wide array of areas within the province. These reports encompass various regions, ranging from the lush coastal rainforests of Vancouver Island to the dense forests deep within the Kootenay region. Accounts of individuals encountering these sizable, primate-like beings have been meticulously recorded by a diverse range of individuals, including local residents, visitors, and nature enthusiasts. One of the most intriguing elements of reported Bigfoot sightings in the British Columbia region lies in the remarkable uniformity of witness descriptions. Witnesses frequently depict encountering a towering two-legged creature draped in dark, dense fur, reaching heights between 7 to 10 feet, exhibiting broad shoulders and moving with a distinctively ape-like stride. Additionally, certain accounts highlight the creature exuding a pungent, musky scent, which serves to enhance the credibility and realism of these encounters. The consistency in the details provided by various eyewitnesses adds a layer of authenticity to the mystique surrounding Bigfoot sightings in British Columbia, sparking curiosity and speculation among both locals and enthusiasts alike. Throughout British Columbia, aside from relying solely on first-hand accounts, a multitude of physical traces believed to be associated with Bigfoot have surfaced. Researchers have meticulously examined footprints, strands of hair, and audio recordings mimicking primate vocalizations in a bid to authenticate the existence of these elusive beings. While doubters may ascribe such proof to misidentifications or elaborate hoaxes, many advocates contend that these discoveries serve as compelling validation for the presence of Bigfoot within the area. This thorough scrutiny delves into the realm of in-depth exploration, shedding light on the intricacies surrounding the purported evidence and its significance in the ongoing quest to unravel the mysteries of Bigfoot. The cultural significance attached to Bigfoot sightings in British Columbia holds immense importance, particularly for Indigenous communities. Within these communities, Sasquatch embodies a fundamental element of their oral traditions and spiritual ideologies. Stories recounting encounters with these mysterious beings are ingrained in the fabric of their heritage, ensuring their preservation across multiple generations. These narratives act not only as cautionary anecdotes, but also as profound lessons that underscore the essence of reverence for the natural environment. Bigfoot, a creature that goes beyond its roots in Indigenous cultures, has evolved into a symbol of compelling fascination for a wider audience in British Columbia. This Canadian province is home to a plethora of Bigfoot-themed attractions, ranging from museums to vibrant festivals and guided tours that are exclusively designed to delve into the mysteries surrounding these elusive beings. Not limited to physical spaces, the enduring charm of these cryptids is also sustained by a rich array of Bigfoot-related media, encompassing books, thought-provoking documentaries, and captivating television programs. The extensive representation of Bigfoot in various forms of entertainment has undoubtedly played a significant role in perpetuating the enduring mystique surrounding these mysterious creatures. Despite numerous reported sightings and anecdotal accounts, skeptics persist in their skepticism regarding the existence of Bigfoot, highlighting the dearth of definitive scientific evidence. Detractors posit that the lack of tangible specimens or indisputable photographic proof poses a significant challenge in acknowledging the existence of these strange beings. Conversely, advocates for Bigfoot research counter that the mere absence of evidence does not equate to evidence of absence, emphasizing the necessity for further rigorous scientific exploration to unravel the mysteries surrounding these elusive creatures. Essentially, while many claim to have encountered Bigfoot and shared their stories, skeptics demand concrete proof beyond personal testimonies and blurry photographs to give credence to the existence of this legendary creature. The debate surrounding Bigfoot's existence continues to intrigue and divide individuals, prompting calls for more extensive and conclusive scientific investigations into this enduring mystery. In recent years, significant advancements in technology and data collection methodologies have opened up new avenues for the exploration of Bigfoot phenomena in the wilderness of British Columbia. Researchers have embraced the use of cutting-edge tools such as trail cameras, drones, and thermal imaging devices to meticulously survey remote regions and amass compelling evidence pertaining to Bigfoot sightings and behavior patterns. Moreover, the integration of citizen science initiatives and collaborative research endeavors has played a pivotal role in involving the general public in the quest for understanding Bigfoot, thereby leveraging the collective power of observation and data gathering. These collaborative efforts not only enhance scientific exploration, but also foster a sense of community engagement and shared responsibility in the pursuit of unraveling the mysteries surrounding Bigfoot encounters in British Columbia. Bigfoot sightings in British Columbia present a nuanced and intricate phenomenon that goes beyond mere tales or legends, encompassing a rich tapestry of elements. Beginning with the oral traditions of indigenous communities and extending to contemporary encounters, the mysterious presence of these elusive beings continually intrigues individuals throughout the province. Despite skeptics questioning the authenticity of such sightings, the wealth of first-hand testimonies, tangible evidence, and the deep-rooted cultural significance associated with these events strongly indicates that there may be profound layers to the mystery of Bigfoot that are not immediately apparent. As the quest for explanations persists, the mystique of the unknown and the prospect of unveiling the truth are poised to sustain a lasting fascination with the Bigfoot phenomenon in British Columbia. A photograph shrouded in mystery recently surfaced on social media, shared by an enthusiastic amateur fossil explorer from Indonesia. The individual shared captivating details, claiming to have stumbled upon an extraordinary discovery, a colossal skull belonging to a humanoid creature. Deep within the verdant rainforests of Indonesia, amidst the thick canopy and majestic arboreal giants, resided an individual who had dedicated his entire existence to the relentless exploration of paleontology. Immersed in the captivating realm of prehistoric life, this man plunged himself into a profound understanding of the ancient world that once thrived throughout the area. With an insatiable thirst for knowledge and an unyielding enthusiasm to uncover the enigmatic tales of the Earth's bygone eras, he dedicated countless years immersed in the vast expanse of untamed wilderness. Driven by an unwavering passion, his arduous journey led him on a relentless quest to unearth fossils that held the key to unraveling the enigmatic mysteries of the ancient world. During a fateful afternoon, as he ventured further into the dense woods, he unexpectedly came across an obscured opening to a cavern, concealed beneath a protective layer of vibrant green moss-covered boulders. Upon a cursory glance, the entrance of the cave appeared almost indistinguishable, but a gut feeling compelled him to delve deeper into its unknown depths. Equipped with a sturdy flashlight that would pierce the darkness ahead, and a trusty pickaxe for any potential obstacles, he fearlessly embarked on his exploration. Exploring further into the dark and mysterious cave, the beam of his flashlight illuminated the uneven walls, creating a haunting spectacle of eerie and captivating dancing shadows. The atmosphere was heavily saturated with the earthy aroma of centuries-old soil. Undeterred, he persevered, tracing the meandering pathways that led further into the profound recesses of the cavern. As he turned the corner, the vibrant beam of his flashlight cast a revealing light on a truly remarkable spectacle. There, partially embedded within the rugged cave wall, lay an awe-inspiring and gigantic cranium that was unlike any he had encountered before. This immense skull possessed a humanoid structure, characterized by a prominent brow ridge, deeply recessed eye sockets, and a broad, flat nose. Its sheer enormity surpassed that of any known human or primate species, leaving him astounded by its size. This captivating discovery expanded his understanding of the ancient world and provided new insights into the existence of diverse and intriguing beings that were once part of our history. The man's heart pounded with a mix of excitement and disbelief. With utmost care, he meticulously chipped away at the encompassing rock, gradually revealing more of the distinct features of the skull that lay hidden. As he unraveled its secrets, it became evident that the skull belonged to a majestic creature, its formidable jawline and elongated teeth indicating a once dominant force that had freely roamed the earth. However, what truly astounded him was the baffling resemblance the skull held to the renowned Bigfoot, a legendary cryptid deeply ingrained in the tapestry of North American folklore. Displaying a mix of fear and anticipation, he cautiously picked up the skull, his hands shaking slightly. The news about his discovery rapidly circulated on various social media platforms, capturing the attention of researchers worldwide. There were individuals who, upon viewing the visual representations, held the belief that the skull could potentially serve as a crucial connecting piece between humans and an unfamiliar species belonging to the hominid family. Despite the ongoing debates surrounding the discovery, it has undeniably sparked a revitalized fascination with the exploration of cryptids and enigmatic creatures across the globe. The discovery marked the pinnacle of his lifelong pursuit of both knowledge and thrill. Driven by an insatiable curiosity for paleontology, he fearlessly embarked on an expedition deep into the Indonesian rainforest. Little did he know that what awaited him would not only defy scientific limits, but also stretch the boundaries of human imagination. For this passionate explorer, the journey unfolded as a grand adventure that went far beyond his wildest dreams. His lifelong dedication and laborious efforts had culminated in a moment of extraordinary epiphany, a moment that unraveled the enigmatic secrets of Earth's history, manifested in the discovery of a skull bearing an uncanny resemblance to the legendary creature known as Bigfoot. Currently, there is a lively ongoing debate surrounding the interpretation of this particular skull. Many experts and enthusiasts are engaged in analyzing and discussing its characteristics, as it appears to diverge from the typical primate specimens found in the region. Moreover, the sheer size of the skull raises questions about its affiliation with the human species. Oddly enough, Indonesia is no stranger to mysterious creatures. Nestled deep amidst the lush and impenetrable rainforests of the Indonesian island of Sumatra lies a mysterious and elusive creature, widely referred to as the Orang Pendek. Known for its enigmatic nature, this cryptid has managed to evade scientific scrutiny, captivating the curiosity and fascination of both intrepid explorers and dedicated researchers alike. The Orang Pendek, known as the short person or little man in Indonesian, is deeply ingrained in the folklore of the indigenous inhabitants of Sumatra. Throughout countless generations, the locals have passed down captivating tales of a diminutive bipedal creature that dwells within the secluded forests of the island. The Orang Pendek stands at a modest height of around 4 to 5 feet, boasting a coat of reddish-brown fur that drapes its body. Its physical attributes resemble those of a human, further adding to its mystique. As an integral component of Sumatran mythology, the Orang Pendek captivates the imagination and curiosity of both locals and outsiders alike, inspiring a profound fascination with its existence and significance. The legends surrounding the Orang Pendek frequently portray it as a mystical entity that safeguards the forest, possessing a remarkable knack for evading human detection. These tales often recount the intriguing encounters experienced by local villagers, shedding light on the elusive nature of the creature and highlighting its possible role as a guardian of the rainforest. In these stories, the Orang Pendek is described as a sentient being with a profound connection to the natural world, embodying the spirit of the wilderness and manifesting an inherent wisdom that surpasses the comprehension of mere mortals. The earliest documented reports regarding the Orang Pendek can be traced back to the colonial era, dating back to a time when European explorers and naturalists ventured into the untamed wilderness of Sumatra. One such explorer was Alfred Russel Wallace, a well-known naturalist from the 19th century who is renowned for his co-discovery of the theory of evolution by natural selection. During his extensive travels throughout the region, Wallace encountered local individuals who shared intriguing accounts of the Orang Pendek. According to their descriptions, this creature resembled a short, humanoid being with strong ape-like characteristics. In addition to its physical attributes, the Orang Pendek exhibited remarkable agility and intelligence, making it a fascinating subject of study for Wallace and other researchers. In the years that ensued, a multitude of reports concerning the Orang Pendek circulated, recounting sightings and interactions with the elusive creature. These documented encounters were recounted by a range of individuals, including explorers, missionaries, and local residents. What stood out about these accounts was their consistent description of a creature that displayed unique behaviors and physical attributes, setting it apart from any known primate species endemic to the region. The Orang Pendek, a mysterious creature, captivates the attention of cryptozoologists and researchers due to its enigmatic nature. Numerous modern expeditions conducted in Sumatra have provided a wealth of reported sightings and first-hand encounters with this intriguing entity. Witnesses consistently depict the Orang Pendek as a diminutive primate that stands upright, displaying an astonishing level of intellect and nimbleness. In certain instances, there have been instances where footprints supposedly belonging to the Orang Pendek have been gathered. These footprints depict a creature that walks on 2 legs and possesses a lengthened foot that closely resembles that of a human. This distinct feature is characterized by a flexible mid-tarsal joint, setting it apart from other primates known to inhabit the same area. The Orang Pendek has been the subject of numerous eyewitness accounts, with witnesses often expressing a profound sense of awe and amazement, coupled with an overpowering sensation of being in close proximity to a highly intelligent creature. These encounters have not only captured the attention of the scientific community, but have also reignited their curiosity, leading researchers to contemplate the existence of a previously unknown primate species known as the Orang Pendek. This phenomenon has prompted scientists to delve deeper into the possibility of this elusive creature's existence, conducting thorough investigations and exploring the potential implications it may have for our understanding of the natural world. If concrete evidence were to emerge supporting the existence of the Orang Pendek, a creature believed to inhabit the remote forests of Sumatra, Indonesia, it would undoubtedly have far-reaching scientific consequences. The validation of this elusive creature's existence would not only shatter our current understanding of primate evolution, but also challenge our preconceived notions about species distribution and the extent of undiscovered biodiversity. The remarkable finding of the Orang Pendek has the potential to provide valuable insights into the intricate processes of adaptation and survival within the lush rainforests of Sumatra. This enigmatic creature's distinctive physical attributes and behavioral patterns offer intriguing hints regarding the strategies employed by a diminutive bipedal primate to not only survive but flourish in the face of the numerous challenges posed by its demanding habitat. Furthermore, the existence of the Orang Pendek holds significant ecological implications that extend beyond its own species. This enigmatic creature serves as a potential custodian of the rainforest, highlighting the intricate interconnection between different organisms and ecosystems. To effectively conserve the natural wonders of Sumatra, it becomes imperative to delve deeper into the Orang Pendek's ecological role and recognize the utmost significance of preserving its habitat. By thoroughly understanding the Orang Pendek's ecological contributions, conservation initiatives in Sumatra can reap tremendous benefits. The Orang Pendek, an elusive creature said to inhabit the Indonesian island of Sumatra, remains a fascinating puzzle that perplexes even the most knowledgeable scientists. Despite skeptics labeling it as mere myth and folklore, there is a school of thought that firmly believes in the existence of the enigmatic Orang Pendek, offering a thought-provoking exploration into the depths of our natural world. The Orang Pendek, often described as a small upright primate, defies easy classification and has eluded scientific scrutiny. The accounts of sightings recorded throughout history, along with the solid physical evidence in the form of casts made from footprints, as well as the numerous experiences shared by modern witnesses, all contribute significantly to the captivating possibility that the Orang Pendek is far more than a mere mythical creature. Should its existence be officially confirmed, it would not only expand our current understanding of primate diversity and evolution, but also challenge the prevailing assumptions we hold about cryptids. Moreover, it would serve as a remarkable testament to the enduring beauty and marvels that exist within the natural world. In the grand scheme of things, whether the Orang Pendek remains relegated to the realm of legend or gains recognition as a distinct species, its legendary status stands as an enduring testament to the vast and uncharted territories that still exist on our planet. The allure of the unknown is a powerful force, perpetuated by the existence of this enigmatic creature. With the lush rainforests of Sumatra as its habitat, the Orang Pendek will forever symbolize the mysteries waiting to be unraveled, captivating the hearts and minds of adventurers and researchers alike. Its existence beckons explorers to delve deep into its secrets, eager to unearth the truth that lies beneath the surface. The mystery of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. The Murfreesboro Mud Monster is believed to be a large humanoid bipedal ape-like creature, similar to modern-day sightings of the North American Sasquatch. Witness descriptions of the creature claim it to have been completely white-furred in color and appearing similar in design to an oversized gorilla with splotches of mud matting its fur. The first sightings of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster were recorded in the summer of 1973 and would be spotted by several dozen independent eyewitnesses up until the modern day, where sightings still continue. The primary location of reported sightings of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster is along the banks of the Big Muddy River, located near the small town of Murfreesboro, Illinois. Witness accounts detail that the head of the creature appeared spade-shaped, similar to reports of the Flatwoods Monster. The texture of the monster's fur was also described as being similar in likeness to the shaggy fur of an English sheepdog. In several reports describing the Murfreesboro mud monster, the creature was claimed to have glowing red eyes similar to the brightness of a distant streetlight. In other reports, the creature is claimed to have no visible face, as it appears to have been completely covered in the white fur. On the 25th of June, back in 1973, within the small town of Murfreesboro, Illinois, a couple would claim to come face to face with a massive bipedal humanoid creature, later referred to as the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. According to the young couple, their encounter happened sometime around midnight while they had been parked at the side of a river. The couple, a young man and young woman by the names of Randy Needham and Judy Johnson, claimed that they decided to stop their car at the end of 23rd Street, located in Riverside Park, in an area that gave them a clear view of the surface of the big muddy river. The reason for their late-night isolation was later explained by the couple as being a necessary precaution, as Judy's father had disapproved of the two dating and so were unable to find a more public location to hang out. Although the exact time of the sighting is unknown, it is believed that the event occurred sometime between 12 and 1 in the morning, as the couple were listening to the radio. As Judy Johnson and Randy Needham were in the middle of their interaction, the couple claimed to have heard what they described as a piercing roar, later detailed by Randy Needham as sounding somewhat similar to an eagle shrieking into a feedback microphone. The source of the sound appeared to have emanated from a nearby brush that rested only a few yards away from the vehicle, near the side of the big muddy river. Scared that a large, dangerous wild animal was nearby, Randy Needham shut off the car radio, while he and Judy Johnson glanced around the immediate area, looking for any signs of a creature. A few seconds later, the couple claimed that another loud shriek had been heard that was slightly similar to the first, and watched as the brushwood in front of their vehicle began to sway dramatically. Hoping to scare away the creature, or to catch a better glimpse of it, Randy Needham immediately started his car and turned on the headlights. Within seconds, the creature exited from the brushwood and began rushing towards their vehicle. The couple would later describe the creature as having been a large bipedal ape-like creature that they would claim looked like an oversized gorilla. It walked on two legs and was estimated from a sitting position to have stood around 8 feet tall with matted white hair, with spots of mud covering different sections of its body. As the creature walked closer to the vehicle, the couple claimed they could smell the scent of a foul, skunk-like odor. Fearing for their lives, Randy Needham immediately reversed his vehicle and drove out of the area, claiming that they narrowly escaped the monster that appeared to have been trying to reach their vehicle. Once the couple made it back into the downtown area of Murfreesboro, Illinois, they entered into a heated debate on whether or not they should report the sighting to the local police. Judy Johnson at first refused to file a witness report, believing that it would lead to issues with her father, but was convinced by Randy Needham, who believed that the monster would soon attack other eyewitnesses. It would be at around 2 in the morning that the couple would decide to drive down to the Murfreesboro police station and report their sighting. Once Randy Needham and Judy Johnson arrived at the police station together, the couple immediately began filing a report with the former patrolman of the Murfreesboro police force, a man by the name of Ron Manwaring, who worked as a police chief for over several decades. According to Officer Ron Manwaring, the sighting had been described as an unknown creature sighting, with the beast having been compared to an oversized gorilla estimated to have been around 8 feet tall, with matted white hair that was streaked with mud. Although the officers were hesitant to believe the claims of the two young adults, they began to grow increasingly interested when they discovered that the couple was scared of both public ridicule and Judy's father finding out about their indiscretions. Additional reports of the Murfreesboro mud monster would be made by several police officers who were tasked with investigating the original sightings report of Randy Needham and Judy Johnson. Believing that Randy Needham and Judy Johnson were not playing a prank and had nothing to gain from the witness claims, the Murfreesboro Police Department would send 2 officers to investigate the claims further. The 2 responding officers, Merrill Lindsay and Jimmy Nash, were sent to the location of the sighting within minutes and arrived at the area of the supposed boat ramp in Riverside Park. Within a few minutes of investigating, Officer Jimmy Nash found a set of peculiar tracks that he described as being approximately 10 to 12 inches long and roughly 3 inches wide, following in a long line down the riverbank side pressed deep into the mud. Before Officer Nash could investigate the tracks further, He would then report that he and his partner heard what they would later detail was a screech emanating from close by. Believing that the creature was hiding in some nearby brush, waiting to attack, Officer Nash attempted to pull out his pistol, but dropped it in a panic and ran back to his police cruiser and left the scene of the sighting. When questioned about the sound, Nash claimed that the sound was the most hideous sound he had ever heard and had originated at an estimated distance of about 300 feet away from them. He said that it was the most incredible shriek he's ever heard. Officer Jimmy Nash and Officer Merrill Lindsay would return to the Murfreesboro police station, hoping to gather additional officers for backup before returning to the site. It would be at around this time that the officers would report the screech and their encounter with the unknown creature, sparking serious interest from the local law enforcement. At around 2 a.m. on the 26th of June, Officers Jimmy Nash and Merrill Lindsay would return to the area of their encounter, alongside Officer Bob Scott and the original eyewitness, Randy Needham. The four would soon discover several more tracks located near the muddy banks of the river, with impressions that appeared to originate from within the water and exit back into the water. Officer Merrill Lindsay would return to her patrol car to retrieve a camera for documenting the evidence, and the 3 others would stay in the area of the sighting, following the tracks down the riverbank. It was at around this time that the 3 men claimed to hear splashing in the river that sounded like a large creature walking in knee-deep water. Although they were unable to see anything in the water, the men would continue their search until they heard the same horrible scream that Officer Nash had reported earlier in the morning. The sudden scream caused the 3 men to run back to a patrol car, where they took the time to regain their composure and once again begin their search for the creature. For the next several hours, the men would claim to hear the same eerie splashing sound they believed to have been the large bipedal creature walking through the water, but would discover nothing. Their search would continue through the early morning until the sun rose. At around 7 a.m, the group would end their search, believing that the monster had disappeared. The sighting of Christian Barrel. On the 26th of June, roughly 14 hours since the end of the reported sightings of the Murfreesboro mud monster from the Murfreesboro Police Department, a 5-year-old boy by the name of Christian Barrel would claim to witness a monster with a similar description at around 10:30 in the evening. According to the child's mother, he has been given a glass jar that he could use to catch fireflies with. Seeing a large conglomeration of fireflies alongside the bank of the big muddy river, Christian travelled near the water and saw what he described as a large white shape rise up from behind a fence that separated their property from a neighbour's property. Believing that he saw a ghost, 5-year-old Christian Barrel ran back to his home, dropping the jar, and found his dad, crying to him and telling him what he had seen. Although the dad did not believe that his son had seen anything resembling a ghost, he comforted the child and said that the creature was gone and would not hurt him. Several days later, the father claimed that as he was talking to his neighbour, the neighbour told him about a sighting his family had experienced on the 26th of June of what he believed was a large white ape-like monster walking through his backyard and disappearing into the nearby big muddy river. According to the neighbour, his daughter, a young teenager by the name of Cheryl Ray, claimed to have encountered the mysterious creature sometime at around 11 in the evening while she had been sitting on the enclosed front porch with her boyfriend Randy Creeth to talk and look at the stars. According to the young couple, while in the middle of a conversation, they claimed to have heard rustling coming from about 15 feet away from where they were sitting, in a nearby bush. At first, the couple assumed that the rustling was caused by small animals running through the brush, but soon became suspicious when the rustling started to grow louder and continued across multiple bushes. Cheryl Ray and Randy Creeth believed that the sound was most likely being caused by a group of young neighborhood kids who were spying on the young couple as a prank. This theory would cause Cheryl Ray to go inside the home to turn on the outside porch light, while Randy Creeth decided to leave the enclosed porch to confront the kids. As the front outdoor porch light came on, Randy soon witnessed a massive white-furred creature standing an estimated 10 feet away from where he had been standing, causing him to freeze in fear. Cheryl Ray would later say that her and Randy were sitting in their parents' breezeway when they heard something in the woods. They both went down, but Randy was walking a little bit ahead. Then they saw a large, dirty creature with matted fur. Randy Creeth would later draw a silhouette outline of the creature, showing that the monster apparently had a spade-shaped head, similar to the Flatwoods monster. Both witnesses would claim that the creature had glowing red eyes that were similar to the glow of a distant streetlight. Its height was estimated to have been around 7 feet tall, with the creature believed to have weighed more than 350 pounds if compared to a human being. Additionally, the creature's arms were believed to have been elongated, similar to a gorilla's arms. After staring at the creature for a total of 30 seconds, the large humanoid beast turned around and appeared to have walked away into the surrounding bushes and disappeared. Shortly thereafter, Cheryl Ray and Randy Creeth would contact the local Murfreesboro Police Department and describe their sighting of the creature. Police officers Jimmy Nash and Ron Manwaring would immediately respond to the call of the creature sighting, believing that the monster was the same creature previously spotted by the Murfreesboro Police Department at around the same time on the previous night. Once the two officers arrived on scene, they quickly noticed what they described was a powerful odor that was unlike anything they had previously encountered. When trying to locate the source of the smell, the officers would stumble across a set of large footprints that were similar to the recovered prints seen near the bank of the Big Muddy River. Believing that the footprints were evidence of the creature, 14 additional officers would be sent to investigate the mysterious creature sighting, including an officer by the name of Jerry Nellis, who had been trained as a dog handler with the Carbondale Police Department. According to the official police report, Jerry Nellis brought along his German Shepherd Reb. Official Murfreesboro Police Department records describe Reb as one of the most reliable canines on the force, having successfully assisted in past search and rescue missions. As the officers gathered together, armed themselves with rifles, and were filled in on the information surrounding the unknown creature, including the past encounters the monster had had with the Murfreesboro Police Department, the team decided to follow the tracks left behind the creature in the hopes of bringing it down. As the officers followed a set of tracks, they discovered what they later described as a foul-smelling black slime that followed the trail from the back porch of the Ray home down into the nearby Big Muddy River. Using the strange slime as a source of scent, Officer Jerry Nellis's dog Reb began to follow the creature's scent, with the officers following closely behind. The officers recalled in their report that the trail appeared to have been littered with broken tree limbs and trampled underbrush that showed the creature was far larger than any known human being. The trail ended near a quarry of rocks and granite stones, where the dog appeared to have trouble relocating the scent. After a minute or so, the dog picked up a new scent that followed a small trail through dense forest and alongside an embankment to the Big Muddy River that led to a small steep-sloped pond. Before long, the dog brought the officers to an abandoned barn located on the old Bullar property, which rested north of the Big Muddy River, east of the Ray home. Once the dog reached the door of the barn, however, it began yelping and trembling and was too scared to move any further. Believing that the monster was in the barn, the officers decided to wait to enter the barn before additional backup arrived. It is at this point that the official police record surrounding the incident becomes muddled and inconsistent. Some officers claim that after additional backup arrived from neighboring police departments, totaling about a dozen patrol cars, the monster had broken out of the barn through a back wall and disappeared into the nearby river. Other reports claim that the officers entered the barn and discovered no evidence of the creature, but recovered more samples of the mysterious black slime. Additional reports claim that the officers encountered and neutralized the monster within the barn and had made attempts to cover up the recovery of the creature's body. Regardless of the events, the search for the creature was immediately called off following the searching of the barn, and the officers would return to their patrols and departments. The witness testimony from the officers and future sources of information conflict and often contradict each other when it comes to the recovery of the black slime. In one report, an officer claims that the smell of the slime was so putrid it was immediately covered with dirt and buried. Another report claims that officers gathered up the black slime as evidence of the events, though no evidence of recovered black slime is found in the modern day. An additional report claims that one of the officers tasted the black slime and confirmed that the slime was nothing more than the jelly of native-grown wild berries. Shortly after this encounter, the police chief of the Murfreesboro Police Department, a man by the name of Toby Berger, would put out warnings to local newspapers and officers claiming that the encounters or sightings of the creature should be toned down, or possibly censored, to prevent the development of mass hysteria, as the police chief claimed he was worried that one of the residents could become trigger-happy and accidentally hurt another resident of their small town. Despite these attempts at censorship, stories of the encounters would spread across the town of Murfreesboro, leading to the formation of small armed posses that would go hunting for the creature. Murfreesboro Mud Monster Carnival Encounters. 10 days following the encounter with the Ray House, eyewitnesses would claim to see a large bipedal humanoid creature standing outside the traveling circus that had temporarily set up business alongside the Big Muddy River, located a few hundred yards from a sewer treatment plant. According to the report, at around 2 a.m. on the 7th of July, Carnival workers Otis Norris, Ray Adkisson and Wesley Lavender were sitting in the back of one of the Carnival trucks, going over the day's receipts, when they claimed to have heard their Shetland ponies shrieking from nearby. Believing that a prankster was trying to spook their horses, the carnies jumped out of the truck and travelled to the nearby brambles where the ponies had been tied to. It was at this moment that the ponies came within sight of the 3 men and appeared to have been displaying bizarre characteristics that were unlike their typical behaviours. The Shetland ponies, which had been trained to be docile and allow small children to ride them and prod them all day, had become wild with terror. The animals were seen kicking and tugging their ropes and shaking their heads furiously in an attempt to get away from where they were left standing. Although the men were originally confused as to what could have spooked the animals, it soon became apparent what the culprit was as they turned and spotted the bizarre creature a few dozen yards away. According to the men, the creature appeared to have been around 8 feet tall and at a size estimated to have been possibly 400 pounds in weight. Its face held no distinguishable features and appeared to have been hiding beneath a layer of fur. As far as the men could deduce, the large humanoid ape-like beast seemed to have been watching the ponies from a distance in a calm and entertained manner. Terrified of what they were seeing, the men ran from the area and gathered a group of men together for help. As they ran off, the creature was believed to have run away in the opposite direction towards the Big Muddy River. After an estimated 50 minutes had passed, a carnival worker by the name of Charles Kimball decided to join the 3 men and return to the site of where the creature had last been seen. Once he arrived at the location, he claims to have seen the large bipedal humanoid ape-like monster standing off in the distance, staring at the ponies with its head cocked to the side, similar to a dog's head when it hears a new sound. He would later describe the pose of the mud monster as appearing to have been an unthreatening, deeply curious pose. When Charles Kimball called out to the monster, it darted away once more towards the direction of the Big Muddy River. The Murfreesboro Mud Monster Hunt. On the 8th of July back in 1973, a day following the reported carnival incident, a crowd of local residents of Murfreesboro, Illinois, decided to come together to form an armed hunting party in the hopes of finding and eliminating the Murfreesboro Mud Monster. According to news reports surrounding the incident, the group of locals, a mixture of several adult hunters and several dozen teenagers, gathered together in Riverside Park. At the time of the rumors and witness sightings, it was believed that Riverside Park was a hotspot for the monster, as unsubstantiated claims of encounters had clustered around the area. Several groups of teenagers would claim to have seen the creature on separate isolated expeditions into the surrounding area, though it was believed that their claims were made in a half-joking manner. Although hunting parties were not new to Murfreesboro, the police chief Toby Berger became concerned that the overzealous and easily frightened hunting party, mixed with the many littered empty alcoholic beverages, were doomed to eventually fatally injure one of their own members. Fearing for the safety of the residents, Berger would eventually call a town meeting and come to the decision that it would be best for this fascination surrounding the monster to run its course in a professional way. Rather than risk the safety of the public, Berger would ask the fathers of the town to stay home and keep their teenagers out of trouble looking for the creature while the town conducts an official private investigation into the matter. Several small reports of groups of teenagers engaged in small hunting parties would persist for several months, but none so large as the original hunting party gathering on the 8th of July. Harkin-Sorkin official investigation. After a series of witness sightings of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster surrounding the area of Riverside Park and the shores of the Big Muddy, Later supported by the Murfreesboro Police Department, who would record sightings of their own, local residents would begin to arm themselves and form hunting parties with the intention of locating the Murfreesboro mud monster and eliminating the creature from the region. Scared that these hunting parties would eventually lead to incidents of friendly fire and injury, the Murfreesboro police chief at the time, a man by the name of Toby Berger, would instruct the local residents of the town to no longer engage in such activities, and that the town would conduct an official private investigation into the beast to help ease fears and protect the public. Eventually, Toby Berger and several other consultants on the matter would hire a man by the name of Harkin Sorkin, a gentleman who worked as an insurance agent for his primary occupation, but was a self-described expert on the Sasquatch phenomenon. After hearing about the series of serious reported cases of the Murfreesboro mud monster, Harkin Sorkin would journey from his home city of St. Louis, Missouri, and travel to Murfreesboro, Illinois, with a team of about 5 men, including a lawyer and several reporters from the popular Missouri newspaper, Kansas City Star. Sorkin's official expedition for the monster would begin in the fall of 1973, roughly a month following the last major recorded sighting of the creature. It was during this time that Sorkin would make several claims that were impossible to substantiate, but accepted by the town nonetheless, including an anonymous offer by a private collector that claimed Sorkin and his team would receive $2.5 million if they could capture the creature alive and send it to a private, undisclosed location. Believing the claim to be real, Sorkin and his team equipped themselves with non-lethal weapons, including stun pistols and rubber bullets focused on incapacitating the animal for capture. Additionally, several boxes of bananas and chocolates were purchased and brought along for the expedition to peacefully lure the creature into capture. Despite the non-lethal measures and the food, Sorkin was fearful that the beast could explode into anger, similar to other reported sightings and attacks of Bigfoot creatures elsewhere in the United States, and so decided to bring along several loaded firearms in the event that the monster decided to attack his party. Although it is uncertain exactly how Sorkin attempted to capture the creature, he would provide a statement to the Kansas City Star that a local zoo had been on standby during their expeditions and were able to fly in a large cage in the event of the creature's capture. During several of their expeditions, Sorkin and his team reportedly heard what they described as a very loud yell or guttural sound, between a roar and a bellow, and took pictures of tracks that appeared to have been human-like footprints, with an enlarged big toe and an elongated heel. Other than these sightings and claims, no direct evidence of the creature was recovered, and the expedition appeared to lose its fervor rather quickly. Although the recovery of the monster was met with very little success, the town felt that the primary purpose of the expedition was entirely successful. Shortly after the expedition ended, several local newspapers such as the Southern Illinoisan and the Kansas City Star would report about the events and witness sightings from the Murfreesboro townsfolk. The story was so compelling and considered substantial evidence of a Sasquatch-like creature roaming the American countryside that the story would eventually be picked up by the New York Times. The sudden popularity in the town, coupled with the momentary fame of the eyewitnesses, would lead to the Murfreesboro mud monster legends, becoming a solidified piece of history for the town, and would lead to the end of the hunting parties for the creature, as the residents considered the monster to be a symbolic mascot to be adored. Last sighting of Murfreesboro mud monster. The last recorded official police report sighting of the Murfreesboro mud monster was recorded back on the 7th of July, 1975, when 2 men claimed to have encountered the bizarre monster while they had been traveling through the Harrison community. According to the 2 men, who were native residents of Murfreesboro, they had been traveling north of Murfreesboro and had passed by the Harrison Pond when they saw a large white humanoid creature exit from the pond and watch them from a distance. Unsure of what they were looking at, the men continued moving away from the pond until they saw the creature dive back down into the water and disappear. Honey Island Swamp Monster Connection. The Honey Island Swamp Monster is typically described by eyewitnesses as standing at a height of roughly 7.5 feet and weighing more than 500 pounds. The creature is reported as being covered in a thick coat of matted brown or grey hair that covers the creature from head to toe. In some isolated sightings, the fur of the creature was also wrapped in a large mound of pondweed. The eyes of the creature are often described as being yellow in color and appearing almost lizard-like in their design. One of the more noticeable traits of the creature also includes its emitting odor, which has been referred to by eyewitnesses as terrible. The creature has also been reported under several different names, such as the Honey Island Ape, the Honey Island Sasquatch, the Louisiana Wookiee, and the Swamp Monster of Louisiana. The first reported sighting of the Honey Island Swamp Monster was recorded by two individual eyewitnesses by the name of Harlan Ford and Billy Mills. According to the two men, Harlan Ford had been flying above the region of the Honey Island Swamp in a private plane when he claimed to have spotted what he believed to have been an abandoned cabin somewhere deep within the swamp marshlands. Curious as to what was in the cabin, Harlan Ford would call up his close friend Billy Mills with the plan to go on a small adventure and investigate the abandoned structure during their free time. Several days later, sometime during the summer of 1963, the two men would journey to the Honey Island Swamp and attempt to locate using the aviation charts from Harlan Ford where the abandoned structure was located. As they neared the clearing of the structure, they realized that the cabin appeared to have been a handmade structure from nearby trees and materials, as if someone had been illegally living within the region for several months. As they moved closer to the cabin, one of the men would soon spot something in the distance, getting the attention of their friend to also look in the general direction of what they had seen. Located near the edge of the opposite side of the clearing was a creature that the men described as being a 7.5-foot tall, hairy bipedal humanoid creature. The creature would stand almost entirely motionless for several moments, maintaining eye contact with the two men before suddenly quickly moving and escaping into the nearby underbrush. Fearing that they had stumbled upon the home of the strange swamp monster creature, the two men quickly left the region and decided never to return to the bizarre structure. Harlan Ford would later provide a quote surrounding the incident, claiming that the creature was nothing like he had ever seen before. Ugly and sinister, and looking like something out of a horror movie. Over 10 years would pass before the two men would decide to journey back to the Honey Island Swamp to get some closure on the incident. According to the report, it would be in 1974 that Harlan Ford and Billy Mills would return to the swamp for a small duck hunting trip. Although the two men had hoped for a normal hunting trip, they would soon realize that their return trip would be anything but normal. Shortly within journeying into the swampland, the two men would find several boars throughout the area along the edges of the marshlands. At first, the men thought that the wild boars had been taken from nearby alligators in the water, but soon realized that the animals were way too far from nearby waterways to have been taken by alligators. After a few more hours, their suspicions that the creature they had once encountered roughly 11 years ago, having been responsible for the passings of the wild boars, would soon be confirmed. Near the boars, the men would find several massive footprints that ended in 3 large webbed toes and were unlike the footprints of any known creature. In fear that the monster was close by, Harlan Ford and Billy Mills would quickly leave the swamp. Later that night, their curiosity would overpower them, and they would return to the site to make several casts of the footprints for possible study or reference at a later time. Given the close similarities between the environment of the Murfreesboro mud monster and the Honey Island swamp monster, cryptid theorists believe that the creatures responsible are of the same species, though may have bifurcated in their development sometime in the distant past. Dewey Lake Monster Connection. The Dewey Lake Monster is claimed to be a humanoid bipedal creature standing at an approximate height of 9 feet tall, covered from head to toe in thick hair. Witness sightings differ in some regard on the texture and color of the hair, given the many different lighting conditions in which witnesses encountered the creature. In some cases, the creature's hair is red and matches closely with brownish bark, and appears to have a texture that matches the trunk of a tree, with many witnesses mistaking the creature to have been a standing tree. Some claim that the creature has no visible face, or has a visible black face with reflective eyes and sharp teeth that become visible only when the mouth opens. Witnesses consistently report the smell of a strong odor or skunk-like stench that accompanies the creature. The Dewey Lake Monster has made several indistinguishable non-human sounds, such as a deeper yelling tone, impossible for a human to replicate. Barking noises, ear-splitting honking sounds, and piercing screams that have caused ear damage and could be heard over tremendous distances. Some of the encounters have been compared to the sound of a wild goose or a large dog, whereas other encounters claim the sounds to have been impossible to describe or identify. The Dewey Lake monster has demonstrated multiple forms of adapted locomotion. One such ability is the proficiency to swim and dive with expert quality, with the creature capable of staying underwater for tremendously longer periods of time than is possible for humans or other known creatures. The Dewey Lake monster has also been reported to be able to run on all four limbs at speeds that top 30 miles per hour and has demonstrated violent tendencies against vehicles and individuals. The oldest recorded encounter with the creature was recorded back during the summer of 1962, around a similar time of month that the Murfreesboro mud monster would make a series of sightings. On the 1st of June, back in 1962, 4 lads were playing around Suntan Hill, located nearby Dewey Lake Street in Dowagiac, Michigan. The boys, Jimmy Andre, Jeff Hall, Gary Lee, and Al Johnson, were familiar with playing off by themselves in wooded areas and had made a game of their adventures called Playing Army. While near Suntan Hill, the children would run around, pretending to fight each other with large sticks and engage in pretend battle for several hours. Estimated to have been sometime around 4:23 in the afternoon, the 4 children decided to take a break and eat their pre-prepared lunch that consisted of packed sandwiches left in Gary Lee's Boy Scout backpack located at the bottom of the hill. The children began to race down the hill, with the 4 of them splintering off into 2 groups of 2, with Gary Lee and Al Johnson forming the first group and Jimmy Andrew and Jeff Hall forming the second group. Taking 2 separate paths, Gary Lee and Al Johnson would reach the bottom of the hill first and would spend a considerable amount of time waiting for Jimmy Andrew and Jeff Hall to arrive. After about 10 to 15 minutes, the second group of boys would arrive suffering from an intense form of hysteria brought on by fear. According to the 2 boys, they took a separate longer path down to the bottom of Suntan Hill that passed through a patch of wild raspberries. While they were passing through the patch, they began racing each other in a small competition to see who could eat the most wild raspberries in the shortest amount of time, pushing and pulling each other and snatching the raspberries out of each other's hands. Suddenly, Jimmy had frozen in place while staring off into the distance and appeared to have had a scared or grimacing look on his face as he was frozen. Jeff turned and stared at Jimmy for a while, believing that his friend was playing a strange prank on him or trying to scare him, and tried to figure out what he was doing. Without turning to see what Jimmy had been looking at, Jeff began making mocking faces at Jimmy, mimicking the scared, wild-eyed emotions of the boy before running up to him and pushing him until he fell over. Jeff would later recount that immediately before Jimmy had been frozen in shock, a large gust of wind appeared to have blown in, causing fur and weeds to fly around. Once Jimmy was on the ground, the wind continued to grow in force, flying Jeff's hat off of his head and landing a distance away in the nearby grass. As Jeff ran to chase his hat, he noticed what Jimmy had been staring at and fell to the ground in fear. According to Jeff, the object was a bipedal creature of immense height. The creature was covered from head to toe in red hair and looked like a giant tree or totem pole. Terrified of the creature, Jeff claimed that he began to bark like a rabid dog to scare away the creature, unsure if it was a large unknown animal that would have been frightened by sharp noises. Realizing that the creature was not reacting to his barking, Jeff and Jimmy got up and started to run away from the creature. Once they were an estimated 20 yards away, they turned back around and watched the creature from afar. As they stared at the creature, the monster let out a deafening roar that sounded like the deep, throaty scream of a wild man. The kids then ran and met up with Gary Lee and Al Johnson. Testimony later provided by Jimmy's uncle would claim that the event had split the boys up in angry fury, with the children never going out again or hanging out with each other. Skunk-ape connection. Similar to the Murfreesboro mud monster, another recorded creature known as the skunk ape of Louisiana appears to make similar timed appearances. Descriptions of the skunk ape often overlap with typical sightings of Sasquatch-like creatures. It is commonly accepted within the cryptozoological community that the skunk ape is a Bigfoot-type creature, and so the reports of the creature are often lumped together with general Bigfoot reports made around the United States. The average sightings of the skunk ape, however, are typically only reported around Florida and Louisiana and add the atypical description that the creature is different from average Bigfoot sightings due to its putrid smell and dwells within swamps. The descriptions of the creature's odor are often conflicting, with many eyewitness reports claiming that the smell is impossible to compare to any other known smell. Some witnesses have claimed that the smell of the creature was similar to a swampy fish smell, with a mixture of rotten fish and eggs. An even smaller minority of witnesses have claimed that the creature gives off a somewhat chemical smell, comparing it to hydrogen sulfide, methane, or swamp gas. An even smaller group of testimonies have claimed that the creature suffers from an odor that is more akin to a wet dog smell. More commonly, however, the odor of the creature is reportedly exactly similar to that of a skunk, which is where the creature derives its name. The physical descriptions of the creature are far more consistent, with claims that the skunk ape is humanoid in shape but without any form of defined neck, leaving its head resting flat on its shoulders. The creature has a human-like face, fur covering its body except for its face and palms, has well-defined muscles despite the covering of the fur, and appears to have a hump on its back that may or may not extend beyond the top of the creature's head. Its eyes have never been reported as having glown, and it has never engaged in a violent interaction with any of the eyewitnesses that have encountered the creature. Researchers claim that the oldest known sighting of a creature fitting the description of the skunk ape took place in the early 1800s. According to the reports, a group of sailors landed north of the Gulf of Mexico in an area theorized to be the modern-day Apalachicola, a city located on the Bay of Franklin County within the state of Florida. As they had pulled into the bay, they claimed to have spotted a creature covered in hair from head to toe and appeared similar to a 5-foot-tall baboon. The specific encounter was recorded back in 1818, but sightings of baboons the size of men would continue to be reported throughout the area until the mid-1800s. Researchers have often quoted that two prominent early Native American tribes that had once resided around the modern-day areas of Florida and Louisiana feature reported encounters with the skunk ape within their local mythologies that directly match with descriptions commonly associated with the skunk ape creature. This claim is only partly true. One of the local Native American tribes, the Miccosukee, features stories of a swamp-like creature referred to as the Shawanoki. Some researchers have incorrectly translated this to mean a mysterious swamp-dwelling creature, and so have made the connection that the creature must be referred to the skunk ape, of which is commonly reported in areas of swamps. The truth is that Shawanoki directly translates to snapping mouth and was more commonly used to refer to hidden alligators or snapping turtles local to the area. The other prominent Native American tribe does indeed feature a story that directly matches with reports and encounters with the skunk ape. Referred to by the Seminoles tribe as the Esti-Kapkaki, of which directly translates to the tall man, the creature is a reportedly humanoid supernatural being that is often regarded as the protector of the surrounding woods and swamplands. If one was to find themselves chasing the creature, before long, they would witness the animal vanish from sight, as if disappearing in the fog. Other titles for the creature were known as the Sand People, the Mangrove People, and the People Eaters. Bigfoot is described as a shy and elusive creature that is adept at avoiding human contact and evading detection. Sightings of Bigfoot are often fleeting and unexpected, leaving little time for observers to capture clear evidence or documentation of the creature's existence. The elusive nature of Bigfoot makes it difficult for researchers to study and document the creature, contributing to its status as a mystery.